Hello. Welcome. On Saturday night, at Wembley Stadium, a thrilling 2023-24 final between season champions League pros Real Madrid and underdogs Borussia Dortmund will decide continental supremacy. In the meantime, Los Blancos attempt to inscribe their name on the European Champion Club's Cup for the 15th time. And the Bundesliga powerhouses wearing black and yellow hope that success would put an end to 27 years of suffering and secure Champions League Championship number 2. In the Final Four, Edin Terzic's team defeated Paris Saint-Germain to secure their trip to Wembley, while Carlo Ancelotti's team prevented their future opponents from having an all-German final against Bayern Munich with a thrilling turnaround in the second leg. Borussia Dortmund will face Real Madrid in the Champions League final, with both teams having surmounted significant challenges on their journey to Wembley. Initially, Dortmund were long shots with 25-1 odds after the quarterfinal draw, and they faced a daunting 2-0 deficit against Atletico Madrid going into the last 10 minutes of the first leg. Sebastian Haller's goal in Madrid reduced the gap, and then Edin Terzic's squad triumphed 4-2 at home, defying expectations once more in the semifinals. In the semifinals, Dortmund narrowly secured 1-0 victories both at home and away against Paris Saint-Germain, who were unfortunate to hit the woodwork 6 times over the 2 legs. Dortmund are now 5-2 underdogs to prevent Real Madrid from winning their 15th European Cup on Saturday. Betting against Real Madrid in the Champions League has been a challenge over the past decade, as the Spanish Giants have claimed the trophy 5 times in the last 10 years. Their extraordinary dominance has often seemed faded, with numerous remarkable comebacks. In the 2021-22 semifinals, Real Madrid overcame Manchester City despite trailing 5-3 on aggregate in injury time of the second leg, and then edged out Liverpool 1-0 in the final despite being outshot 24-4. This season, they eliminated favorites Manchester City on penalties in the quarterfinals and clinched a dramatic 4-3 aggregate victory over Bayern Munich with goals in the 88th and 91st minutes of the semi-final second leg. Dortmund's impressive performance in the group of death against AC Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, and Newcastle United hinted at their potential. They easily dispatched PSV Eindhoven and, despite a minor setback in their first leg quarterfinal against Atletico Madrid, their sole loss in the 2023-24 tournament did not derail their journey. A remarkable comeback in the second leg and 2 stellar 1-0 victories against PSG, securing clean sheets at both Signal Iduna Park and Parc des Princes, underscored their European ambitions. Champions League final report: Borussia Dortmund 0-2 Real Madrid. The color white was victorious, even if it took 74 minutes for the yellow wall to be beaten. When that happened, they were breached twice. First from Dani Carvajal, and then real captain Nacho 9 minutes later, meaning the Spanish side have now incredibly won their last 9 European Cup finals. When the biggest game in world club football began 90 minutes or so earlier, the match was just moments old when there were 2 selfie supporter merchants who got on the pitch to delay proceedings. With all the security outside the stadium, it seemed to take an age before the invaders got flattened and removed from the pitch. The game got going again and was played out to a Dortmund drum beat on and off the pitch. The yellow wall was transported from Germany to Wembley, and the yellow and black-clad BVB players certainly weren't overawed by taking on serial Champions League winners Real Madrid. BVB, with their press on Los Blancos defenders, really tested their one-touch passing at the back for Madrid. Real's threat came from the wings with Dani Carvajal and Federico Valverde, who linked up on the left, and the lightning speed of Vini Jr. on the right. That didn't stop Ryerson from getting forward, though. He caused some panic of the streets of London from a real perspective on that right flank on a couple of occasions in the first half. Madrid twice had the chance to shoot from the right edge of the area early on, but both Valverde and Vini Jr. were wasteful with their curling shots that went well wide. Karim Adeyemi beat the Real offside trap midway through the half. He took the ball around Thibaut Courtois, but he was so wide he was heading away from Wembley and towards Westminster. All he could get was a corner. A couple of minutes later, BVB hit the post through Niklas Füllkrug, but replays showed the offside flag was most likely to go up if the ball had found the back of the net. BVB were brave in their passing across the back. 10 minutes from the break, Vætjen went in the book for taking down keeper Gregor Kobel as he played the ball within his 6-yard box. The two cards that went the German side's way were when Nico Schlotterbeck and Marcel Sabitzer both went in the book, not happy with decisions by Slovenian whistler Slavko Vincic. When Real broke from an early second-half corner, Vætjen Jr. had space to take the ball to the corner of the Dortmund box. Mats Hummels took him down. Toni Kroos lined up to send into the box, but whipped it over the wall, requiring Kobel to turn it around his own post. The pressure really began to mount on the German side from then on. Carvajal's volley at the back post on 57 minutes had the sting taken out of it by Maatsen. Courtois was called into action to save a Füllkrug header after Adeyemi whipped a cross into the Real box. Both sides had racked up a series of corners, and from the second of a quick-fire Kroos set piece, Carvajal timed his run perfectly to turn the center home with his head for the opening goal. Bellingham could and should have made it 2-0 soon after, but his side-footed shot took a touch off Schlotterbeck to take it just around the post. 8 minutes from time, Real almost repeated the set-piece feat as another in-swinging Kroos corner saw Sancho head it just over. Los Blancos weren't to be denied, though, as they exploited a loose pass at the back with Jude Bellingham feeding Vinicius, who ruthlessly finished to finally silence Wembley's yellow wall. It all meant Wembley heartache once again for Dortmund, who lost here at the same venue in their last final appearance. There was to be no farewell victory for Marco Reus, who played in that game back in 2013 on what was his last game for the club this time around. For Kroos, it was a different story in his final game for Los Blancos. Tony rang out from the Real end of the ground, as he was called to the side 5 minutes from time to be replaced by Luka Modric. For Don Carlo Ancelotti, it is the 5th time to coach a team to the Champions League success, 3 with Los Blancos and 2 with Milan. To go with the 2 European titles he won as a player with Milan. Borussia Dortmund, Gregor Kobel, Julian Ryerson, Mats Hummels, Nico Schlotterbeck, Ian Maatsen, Marcel Sabitzer, Emre Can, Daniel Malen 80, Jadon Sancho, Julian Brandt, Sebastian Haller 80, Karim Adeyemi, Marco Reus 72, Niklas Füllkrug. Subs not used: Alexander Meyer, Marcel Lotka, Niklas Süle, Jamie Bynoe-Gittens, Felix Nmecha, Salih Özcan, Kjell-Erik Wätjen, Youssoufa Moukoko, Marius Wolf.
Boked, Nico Schlotterbeck, 40, Marcel Sabitzer, 43, Mats Hummels, 79. Real Madrid, Thibaut Courtois, Daniel Carvajal, Antonio Rudiger, Nacho, Ferland Mendy, Eduardo Camavinga, Federico Valverde, Jude Bellingham, Joselu, 85, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric 85, Vinicius, Lucas Vázquez 90, Rodrigo, Eder Militao 90.
Subs not used: Kepa, Andre Lunin, Fran Garcia, David Alaba, Dani Ceballos, Arda Güler, Aurelien Tchouameni, Brahim Diaz.